getting bored, getting restless. So you came up with this great idea. Let's go party. Let's go do a little pop. We don't know where this guy that brought us here. And Aaron, come on, do this for us. Now, who was Aaron?
The priest and Moses' brother.
And we're going to see some things about him. So that's where the mindset came from what they had witnessed down in Egypt land, that it was so easy for them to say, make us some gods. And it's plural. Make us some gods, you know. So the bull was the principal god of Egypt, and he was just one of many. And later, this idol worship what was the split between the tribes eventually?
North and South.
The North and South, how many? 5 and 5?
2 and 10.
2 and 10. The 10 took on worshiping idols later on. Under king, we started off with which king? Who was the first king?
Saul. What is the Saul? The first king of what?
Of God's chosen people. David, then who?
King Saul.
It was Saul first. Saul, David, and then who?
Solomon.
And then what happened?
Then they split.
Then it was a split.
The judges.
The
judges were before the king.
Right. The judges were before the king, because we have judges. Then we go in the first and second kings, right? All right. So then it was a split, and who is that? This was Solomon's son. And then So this would be the 2, and this would be the 10. So that's what we're talking about. You all remember when we had these lessons? It was a split after the 3 kings, Saul, David, and Solomon. And they wanted a king, and they started off with here, and they went to the house and was thinking, you know, let's get the big guy. And that's when David came in. They went to his father's house. Jesse, all right. And so the split, and these were the 2. And I was amazed when I was reading that these 10 tribes, they also was worshiping these idol gods. Because what? When Jeroboam, the capital was Syria, he said, it's too far for you to go to Jerusalem. Remember that story? It's too far to go. I'm going to set up some worships in a couple of places where we are. And he convinced them, because he said if you go to Jerusalem, they'll probably listen and get saved again. So I got to keep them away. You know, don't go to church. I don't feel like going to church today. And the more I stay away, the more I feel comfortable staying away, don't I? Mm-hmm. So the enemy don't want you to assemble yourselves. And God said, do what? Forsake not to assemble yourself. So it's always just the opposite of what God is saying. And then what else did he say? You won't surely die. You know, everything he's saying is opposed to what God is saying. So you don't want to listen to the enemy. You just say, okay, I tell Blanche off to get up. You going. You know, and you just have to say, Ed, get up. You going. What's your name?
LaDonna.
LaDonna, get up. You going. Do you ever talk to yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and I talk to Blanche often, and I tell her, you get up. You going. So this is way back then, you know. And so this pitiful apostasy. What is apostasy?
Turning away from.
Turning away.
Like a gross turning away. Like extreme rebellion.
Extreme turning away. Forsaking your faith. your principles, your belief, what you stand for. You know, apostasy, you have gotten ridiculous, you know. So there was a pitiful state of mind, pitiful state in chapter 32 here. So he said, so we don't know what has become of them. So Israel couldn't go long without a strong leader, because they had just said not too long ago, what? Moses, you talk to God. Whatever he say, we'll listen. We'll do it. You know, do we ever say, God, I'm here to stay this time. I ain't going nowhere. Where you lead me, I will follow. I'll go with you all the way. So we have to be mindful, because the enemy he's taking a nap. What is he doing? Going to and fro. If he don't get you today, tomorrow's coming. I'm going to get her tomorrow. I'm going to bring something up tomorrow that's going to, you know, tickle her fancy, catch her eye. And that's all he wants you to do. All right. So the first verse, we've read it. We're in Exodus 32. So we don't know where Moses is, so you make us some gods. We need some gods, okay? So they couldn't go very long without a strong leader. Even Israel had seen, even though they had seen the action of God and knew his power and his strength and his deliverance. And what are some of the things God had done for them? What are some of the things? Open the Red Sea. And just, what else?
He fed them.
He fed them.
Their shoes didn't get old.
Oh,
Didn't wear out.
just done great things. And the leader did he go to the Bahamas to take a trip? Where did he go? He went to talk to God. He went to talk to God. And here you go talking about, okay, we don't know where he is. We don't know where he's coming back. Where did he go to talk to God? Mount Sinai. And what was the characteristics of Mount Sinai? Smoke, because this was the presence of God. So smoke and fire, that's what made them back up in the first place. Ooh, it was like thundering and lightning and just, you know, something. They said, you talk to him. So they were assuming, okay, all that smoke and fire up there, he must be dead. So we got to do something else, you know.
When I read this, it just reminded me of how you can be in leadership, but people are following you, but they're not with you. Mm-hmm. Because now they refer to him as this man.
Right.
This is Moses. They have been with him. They know his character and his relationship.
Right.
But now they are saying, as for Moses, he said, the man that brought us.
The man.
And they know his characteristics. Even if you was going on a sabbatical for 3 months, we would know what to do and what not to do.
Right.
If our pastor left and went on vacation, we wouldn't have a flea market in here today.
Right.
We know by his character, so
we don't do that. We wouldn't come in here in our Daisy Dukes, would we? We know better.
So this is showing me that they really weren't with Moses. They were under his leadership, but they weren't really with him.
So if they weren't with Moses, what does that say on a larger scale? They really didn't understand God, the will of God, what God is asking for, what he's requiring, you know. So that's why we have to keep studying. What does he tell us to do all the time? Meditate on his word. Pray without. He's always telling us something to get us closer to him. Because as soon as we back away, we cool off real quick. And what kicks in? Flesh, self, what I want. You know, and that's what we have to stay away from. Flesh is not our friend.
Pastor always says read 5 minutes. Well, reading is good, but the sister says study to show yourself. Between reading the word and
studying the word And your first step to get out of that door is start walking toward it. So you got to start reading to get yourself to the point of studying. So a first step would still be that reading. And when you start reading, do you ever read and then, or what happens to Blanche when she gets to read and really get in the Word? Smoke coming out her ears, her eye, her hairstyle standing up. And where did she get this from? Who was doing that? When Moses came down, remember? So have you ever got the feeling, goose pimples, and feel like your hair is standing up and you just feeling good? You say, wow, that was good. Wow, yeah. It's like you really have been up on Mount Sinai, doesn't it? And this is what God wants us to do. Seek Him. Read His Word. Communicate with Him. And you will come out, you know. Feel like what? Running through troops and leaping over walls. This is what He wants us to do. And so we take this first step of starting to read, because the devil don't want you to read. If you really want to go to sleep, what you need to do? Try to read God's Word. That's right. It'll put you to sleep. It's amazing. It is amazing. Better than warm milk. You know, better than warm milk. You know, I'll be reading, and next thing you know, it's like this, you know. So you got to pick times where you know you're not going to go to sleep. Maybe read in the morning, because you try to read at night, it's a good put you to sleeper. All right, so he was delayed, and they came up with that solution, and they forgot just that quick. What did the commandments say?
Thou shalt have no other God.
No other God? And thou shalt make what? No graven images? Yes. And these were the things they would say, whatever He say, we will do.
And this wasn't that far ago.
No, it wasn't. All right, so these are the things we have to think about, and we were saying, oh, look at the people, but it only reminds me that there's nothing new under the sun, and if we're not mindful, we'll find ourselves doing similar things and backing away and not being obedient to God.
And you know, we think of idols as those idols that they made.
Mm-hmm.
But as I spoke last Sunday, in the book of Jeremiah, it states that anything that you embrace in your heart that will cause you to sin is an idol.
Is an idol.
You know, it's not just something we carved out of wood or something. Anything that pulls you away from the Word of God. Exactly.
Is an idol. In modern day, we don't have groves and figurines, do we?
No.
But we have things that get more attention than God. More things. So liberation from Egypt, you know, what is that saying about the country and the people?
You can take the people out of the country.
But you can't take the country out of them. They were out of Egypt, but they were still thinking the mentality was just as if they had been there. So they were accustomed to seeing many gods, as we have said before. And these many gods represented many aspects of life. And it was common to worship many gods, what? To maximize the number of blessings you was going to get, you know. Many gods. This is a blessing God. This is the light God. This is the river Nile God, you know, all of those gods. So it wasn't anything new to them. But so to serve God in their mind, okay, we'll serve God, thinking what? Another one. Another one to put on the shelf. Sure, we'll serve God. Another God. Another means, another resource for blessing. But God had given the commandments, thou shalt have no other God before me. That kind of messes up my plan. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 gods. Serve God. Okay, I have 7 gods. He said, wipe them all out. Nobody before me. So this is what they had to understand and get in their hearts, because they're still holding on. And when he was talking to Moses to tell him to tell Pharaoh, let my people go, God knew he had to get his people out of there. He let my people go. Let my people go. And all of those plagues came along before Pharaoh finally got the message, let my people go.
And that was the growth sin of Jeroboam. he had built those two golden calves.
Right.
You don't have to go down to worship.
Right.
To Jerusalem, you know, I have these gold. So that was the growth in, and they actually, worship those two golden calves.
Right. And that's what we said when we started, that the 10 was worshiping idols because he set them up and making it convenient. The devil camouflages and make it sound good. This ain't so bad. This is what kind of lie? Purple one? White one? Blue one? That ain't so bad.
And the kings that came after him, even though they might have done some good things,